Yeah, let people in, and then let me know if you have any medical issues that I need to know about. And also, obviously, let me know if you are going to be doing the session seated or standing today. I know we had somebody last week that wanted to do the session seated, so we did some seated options and some standing options. Please make sure again today that if you have any issues during the class and anything doesn't feel right, please put something in the chat. We've got Lisa again with us this morning, so she can just check on you and just make sure you're okay. Otherwise, yeah, put something in the chat if you want to know anything. Good, okay. So we're going to start with a little bit of a standing session to begin with, and then we will come down onto the mat today. And again, work on some core work in particular and some stretches today. We're going to do some stretches today for hamstrings and for hips as well. So come up to standing to begin with. So find a nice stable place with your feet, draw your toes up and then place your feet back down onto the mat. I'll just check how many are in. We'll just give it a couple of minutes maybe. 4, I've got 7 in at the moment. No, Lisa is letting everybody in. So just standing to begin with, just nice and tall. So lift the toes, spread the toes back down, and then think about drawing your energy all the way up your legs, soft knees, drawing the energy up, gentle squeeze under the pelvis, drawing the belly button and the pelvic floor upwards and inwards, and then circling the shoulders back, making sure that the shoulder blades are down the spine and the chin is in a nice neutral position. So just hold this for a moment and just breathe. So I want you to feel the feet draw all the energy and your breath all the way in, up, breathing wide into the ribs, breathing in, and then breathing out. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. And I want you to notice how your weight is on your feet again this morning. So just have a gentle rock backwards and forwards, maybe side to side, and just noticing where the weight is. So you want to come to a position so that you're just a little bit forwards on your toes, and you can also feel the heels. So making sure you can feel both sets of toes, both sets of heels, and just drawing all the way up then. Feel the little toe connecting on the ground as well as the big toe connecting. Good, holding it here. We're just going to start to circle the shoulders. So circling the shoulders backwards, breathing in, breathing out. So noticing how those shoulders feel today. It's gone a little chilly again, so we may have been sort of tightening up around the shoulders and around the hips again. Good, one more. And then hold the shoulders back and just drop the chin in. Breathing out and breathing in. And then gently turn the head to one side. Take a breath out and come back to the center. And again, down in the front, breathing out, lifting back in. And opposite side, turning the head. Just noticing how the neck feels at the beginning of class. Remember, if you have any arthritis, osteoarthritis in the spine, just be very careful with any neck drops or any rolling. So breathing out, turn the head to one side, come back to the center, drop it down to the center, lifting up, gently taking it to the opposite side. Coming back in. Good. Circle the shoulders forwards. So really nice big circles, taking a breath in to lift and a breath out to come back down. Breathing in, just watching that connection with the ground, with the feet. Breathing in and breathing out as you release. So breathing in, squeeze them backwards and upwards. Breathing out, let them relax downwards. Good. 2 more. Squeezing backwards, releasing down. 1 more. And release. Good. We're going to take just a gentle side bend. So just squeeze the bottom, open up through the chest, And then just reaching down the left side. So just hands are coming down the left side. So just a gentle left bend. And then up to the center and gently to the opposite side. Squeeze those shoulders back. Squeezing the bottom, coming back up. And again, gentle side bend, breathing out. Coming back. Just noticing how each side feels on the hips, on the outer hip. And down into the bottom and in the shoulders and the neck. Good, one more. Releasing out. Good, come back to center. Come to a gentle pelvic tilt. So one hand on belly, one hand on bottom. And just remember, you're just kind of trying to lift and squeeze up through the pelvic floor. So imagine you're drawing a zip up into your belly button and just squeezing your bottom gently under. So the knees just stay soft, but we're not pushing the hips under. We're just squeezing under and then releasing. So squeezing the bottom, drawing up pelvic floor. And then releasing. So squeeze and release. Good. Two more. Squeeze, release. Last one. Good. Now let's just come to legs. So we're just going to tap out with the right foot. So just tap out with the right foot, bring it back. Tap out, bring it back. And again, tap out, bring it back. Tap out, bring it back. Opposite side. So tap out. Bring it back, tap out, bring it back, tap out, come back, last one, tap out, come back. Now take it out to the side. So right foot, take it out to the side, just slide it out this time, come back, slide out, come back, two more, slide out. Feel these hips starting to just get a little bit of movement into them, slide out, come back, opposite side. So slide out, come back. Two more. Good, last one. Good, let's take a gentle roll down. So arms by the side, feet hip width apart. Again, feel the heels and the toes on the ground. Take a roll forwards with the shoulders, just halfway down. So we're just going to come down to the thighs. So just drop the chin in, soft knees, just bring the hands down toward the thighs, releasing down through the neck and the upper back, and then come all the way back up. When you come to the top, circle the shoulders backwards and then just float the arms up to shoulder height. Draw the belly in, squeeze the bottom, releasing down. So we're going to do three more of these. So we're going to roll the shoulders, keep the bottom just gently squeezed and pelvis turned under, and try and just roll down through the upper spine to begin with. So you're getting a nice stretch through the neck and the upper back, rather than letting the bottom sit back and the knees bend. Keep that pelvis turned under. Come all the way back, circle shoulders backwards, float the arms, soft hands. Two more. So circling forwards, gentle roll down, keep the weight coming forwards onto the toes, relax the shoulders, and then come all the way back up. So you're releasing and stacking each vertebrae one at a time. So feel like you're just lengthening the spine but rounding down. So just rounding down one vertebra at a time, very slowly. So not bending at the hips, you're just rounding down through that upper back. Should be a nice release for the spine, especially first thing in the morning. Coming all the way back up, circle shoulders backwards, float the arms. Good, we're going to come back to these hips. So this time, we're just going to lift one knee up. So lifting the right knee, if you can. Remember, if you need to hold a wall or hold something, you can. Otherwise, you can just come up onto the toe. But if you can, we're just going to lift the right knee, just up level with the hip, and then release it back down. Let's do that side again. So lifting up, just lift the knee up, pushing down through the left toe. Two more. So lift that knee up nice and steady, breathing in, engage pelvic floor to help, and release back down. So you're always under control when you're lifting this knee, using the core to lift and release. Good, changing sides. So lifting up, draw the core in, so drawing up pelvic floor, lift up and lower down. Good, lift up, lower down. Good, 2 more, lifting up. So if you are seated, you can just do this one seated, obviously, same thing. Try and keep the back straight, lifting up, lower down. Good, take a roll down. So gently circle the shoulders, releasing down through the body, just gently releasing down. Good, coming all the way back up. Welcome to those that joined us a little bit later. Apologies if you were waiting this morning. Come all the way back up, circle shoulders back, floating arms. Good, so if you joined us late, I'm Karen at Fit to Relax. And if you have any issues, any medical issues or anything I need to know, please put it in the chat. We have the lovely Lisa with us again this morning. So if there's any issues, Lisa can have a look at the chat as well. Good, okay, so we've just done the leg lift, so we're going to try and now open up a little bit more in the hips. But if you're struggling a little today with balance and you haven't got a wall to hold on to, then carry on with the leg lifts. Otherwise, we're going to start with the right leg and we're going to lift the knee up and then we're going to take it out to the side. So we're making a circle with the hip, tap down with the toe, and then circle, lift the hip, come all the way back in. And we're going to do 4 on this side, on this right side. So we're going to lift the knee up, take it out to the side as if you're making a half circle, tap the toe down, and then lift the knee back up, draw it back into the center line, tap it all the way back down. Good, 2 more. So lifting out, circle out, lifting in, coming back. So drawing on the core, squeezing the bottom just a little to try and get this stability, but getting more mobility into this hip. Good, 1 more. Take the leg out, up and out, and then up and back into the center line. Good, opposite side. So lifting up, drawing in with the core to begin with. Take the foot out, tap down. So try and control it all the way out and all the way in. Tap it out, getting a nice movement in this hip, coming all the way back in. And noticing if one side is harder on your balance, and also if there's less mobility in that hip on that side. Good, 1 more, take it out, tap it out. Good, bring it all the way back in. Good, and then just march through the feet. So come up onto the toes on one foot, bend the knee, heel down. So just marching through, again, just getting some movement into the hips. Just marching through. Good, 2 more. And then let's take that roll down again. So feet hip width apart. This time we're going to circle the shoulder and just release the shoulder at the bottom. So watch if you're new and you haven't done this one before. So you're going to roll forwards with the shoulders, come down the legs. So just releasing the spine. So weight onto the thighs. When you get halfway down, you're going to put one hand on one thigh and let the other arm go. So left hand to thigh, right arm releases down, and you're just going to circle that thigh. So you're looking down in front of your feet, circle that arm even, and then just circle that arm. So maybe 3 times one way, 3 times the other way, just little circles, and then roll all the way back up, bring the hands back onto the thighs, circle the shoulders backwards. This time you're going to float up onto the toes. So float the arms up, press down, come up onto the toes, and then release back down to the ground. Good, we're going to do that one again. So roll shoulders forwards, rolling down. Now keep the connection on those little toes. Don't let the knees roll in. Keep the knees rolling outwards a little. Bring that arm, just release it. Imagine the whole shoulder is just relaxing. And just roll that arm. Good, rolling all the way back up. Circle shoulders backwards, float arms, come up onto toes. Good, let's go twice on the opposite side. So if you have high or low blood pressure and you feel a little dizzy or you feel a little dizzy coming down, keep the chest higher, keep the heart above the chest above the heart, and just keep the head a little bit higher and just roll that arm. Otherwise you can drop the head down and just roll the arm, just release that arm and then roll all the way back up. Circle shoulders backwards. Again, float up onto the toes, lifting up and releasing down. And again, one more. Circle shoulders forwards, releasing all the way down. Let that arm go. Just really good. It's a really good release for the shoulders. If you have any shoulder issues, it's a really good release to do. Good, rolling all the way back up. Circle shoulders backwards, floating arms. Good. So we're going to come a little bit more working the legs and the core, and to release the thighs, we're going to come into a squat. So Pilates squat, not too low, and focusing on turning the pelvis under nice control. So we're going to draw the belly in. As we breathe out, take the weight back onto the heels, take the arms forwards, and just come down into this squat. So not too low, keeping the belly drawn, and then come all the way back up. So breathing out. If you've got a green ball, if you have got a Pilates ball, as some of you have, you can put the green ball between the knees and then just come down into that squat. Again, making sure these knees aren't rolling inwards. Keep them going out towards the middle of the toes. Lowering down, coming all the way back up. 3 more. Pull up with this pelvic floor. So imagine you're squeezing a zip into your belly button and then drawing your belly button back towards the spine as you breathe out and breathe back in. Good. 2 more. 2 more. Let's go. Good. Last one. Good. Okay, we're going to come down and roll down. We're going to come into a plank position. If you are coming down to the mat, you're not coming down to the mat, just do the roll down, the roll back up again, and we'll do the squat. So if you're coming down to the mat, rolling down, roll, roll, roll. Gently remember going through each vertebra at a time. You can bend the knees when you need to. Bring the hands to the floor and take that step out into your plank. So bring your weight forwards into plank, bottom down, shoulders over the hands, feet planted on the ground, hold and breathe. And then when you're ready, bend the knees a little, walk the hands back in towards the feet. Remember to stack up through the roll. So rolling up. When you can, stack the hips underneath, push the hips under, roll all the way back up. Circle shoulders backwards. We're going to come to that squat. So squat on the end. Good. We're going to do this 3 times. So rolling forwards, gentle roll down. So remember, if you don't want to come out to the plank, that's fine. If you are, take steps forwards. Make sure the thumbs come with the hands. Stepping all the way out, head down. Hold and breathe. And then roll all the way back in. March the hands back into the feet, bend the knees. Roll all the way up. Circle shoulders backwards. Come into that squat. Good. Little lower if you can. Good. 1 more. Rolling forwards. Gentle roll down. Breathing out. Bring the weight forwards towards the toes. Bend the knees when you need to get the hands to the floor. Take those arms out, reaching out. Spread the fingers wide. Look down at the thumbs. A little bit of weight on the wrist is good, especially if you're a woman, just to try and keep those wrists active. Circle shoulders back, float into that squat. Good. Last one. We're going to come all the way down. This time we're going to come down onto the ground. So coming all the way down, rolling down. Good. Take that march out into your squat, into your plank, and then lower the knees down to the ground. So just lower the knees down to the ground. Good. So coming down, all the way down. Move that over a little bit. Good. So all the way down onto all fours, and then we're just going to cat-cow. So this morning we're going to cat-cow. We're just going to round through the spine and then release through the spine. So rounding through the spine, releasing through the spine. Good. 2 more. Knees hip width apart, rounding through the spine. Releasing through the spine. Good. Last one, rounding through the spine. And releasing through the spine. Good. Take a sit back, slide the arms out, take a sit back onto the ankles and just release all the way down. So if you are in the seated position, let me know on the chat so I know to do some exercises to do some alternatives. Otherwise, when you're ready, come over onto the back. So sliding down onto the back, come into a bent knee position. So bent knee position, just feet flat on the ground, arms down by the side of the body, head looking up to the ceiling. So we're going to start off with just a gentle pelvic tilt. So breathing in, when you're ready to breathe out, just take the pelvis and just start to tilt upwards. So tilting up and releasing all the way down. And again, so just a gentle tilt up, breathing out, coming all the way down. And one more, tilting up. And releasing down. Good. Then we're going to come into our leg slide. So I want your hands on the bony bits of your hips. And we're going to draw the belly in and just start to slide the one leg out. So keep the foot at the moment in contact with the floor. So just slide that leg all the way out, breathing out. So out for a count of 4, draw the belly in, keep that lower back connected with the earth. And then breathing in, slide the leg all the way back in. Come back to the crook knee position. So opposite side, draw in first, so pull in. As you breathe out, slide that leg out, pulling in with the pelvic floor, nice, flat, nice, hollowing with the belly. And then coming all the way back in. Good, so we're going to do 3 on each side. So breathing out, just the legs to start with, breathing out. So this is for hip stability, mainly, but we're working on our core by pulling in as we breathe out. So pull in, breathing out. Coming all the way back. Good, last one, breathing out. Back in. Breathing out. And all the way back in. So I want you to think of, within these movements, think about our neutral spine as well. So neutral spine in Pilates is about having this, you might have a little gentle curve in your back. So everybody's got most people have got a gentle curve in their back, but you want to find that neutral. So you're not arching the back and you're not flattening the back against the ground. So imagine you've got a diamond and you're going to put your diamond on your hips, in between your hips, on your pelvic bone, and you want to keep that diamond fairly flat. So you don't want it tilting upwards and you don't want it tilting downwards. So imagine you've got a nice flat diamond on your pelvic area. So drawing the pelvic in, so imagine you're zipping up into your belly button. So your back comes a little bit maybe flatter on the ground, and then holding that contraction, so holding that as you move so that you're keeping this area nice and strong. So this time we're going to take the right leg. This is my left leg, but I'm going to call it my right leg today. We're going to take the left, well, let's go left leg. The left leg up to crook knee position to begin with. So knee over hip, toe in line. And this time we're going to sweep down and along the floor. So take a breath in, wide into the ribs. And when you're ready to breathe out, engage that pelvic floor. So drawing up and then sweep the toe down. So it comes down to the floor first and then sweeps out. But this keeps really strong in the center. Sweep it out and then sweep it back in. Draw it back up to crook knee position. We're going to do 4 on the right side, on this left side. So we're going to sweep down with the foot, breathe out, Sweep it all the way out so that the heel just touches the floor or just hovers off the floor, and then sweeping all the way back in. Good, 2 more. So sweeping out and coming all the way back in. Good, 1 more. Sweeping all the way out, coming all the way back in. Good, and then gently lower the leg back down to the ground and take the other leg, lift it up into that crook knee position. So knee over hip, foot out, and 4 sweeps on the opposite side. Now, if you don't like lying on the back, you can do this one seated or on a chair. So if you don't want to do it lying down completely, you can come up to a seated position and you can sweep the leg out and sweep the leg back in. Or if you're seated, obviously, again, if you're seated, you can just sweep that leg out and sweep the leg back in. So your choice entirely. If you're still working down on the ground on that right leg, make sure you've done the last one, drawing all the way out and drawing all the way back in. And then bring the legs down to the ground and let's take just a stretch. So we're going to draw the left leg into the chest, hold behind the thigh and just draw that left leg in. Relax the shoulders down to the ground. Just see how that feels. And then release all the way back down to the ground with that left leg. Draw the right leg in. So right leg draws in, drawing all the way in. And then releasing down. Good. So we're going to move on from the leg slide. We're going to come to knee drop. So feet again, hip width apart. I'm going to show you this both ways. So draw that pelvis in, find that pelvic control to begin with. And then we're going to just drop the knee out to the side. So drawing in, find this strong core, and then the knee just rolls out to the side. And then breathing in, we're going to draw it all the way back. So 4 on each side. Let me show you front up. So if you're in this crook knee position, opposite hip stays really still. So knee drops out to the side, opposite knee and opposite hip stay really still. So you can place the hands on the hip bones to make sure the hips aren't moving. And again, we're just going to do 4 on each side with the feet on the ground to begin with. So really want you to focus on this hip stability. You can still get that core strength through pulling in with the pelvic floor. We want to get that core stability to begin with. So 4 on one side and then 4 on the opposite side, dropping that leg down under control in between. Good. And then when you've done your 4 on each side, again, this time draw both knees into the chest, take a gentle hug with both knees. And then we're going to try and combine the 2 movements. So remember, you've got these options. You've got your leg slide with your feet on the ground, or your leg slide from your tabletop position. And you've also got your knee drop with your foot on the ground. So we're going to try it now with the foot in the tabletop position, but you can bring the foot back down to the ground, especially if that back starts to arch, or if you have any back issues. You're not too strong in the core just yet because we've only been practicing for a few weeks. So, but if you've got the core strength and the back feels good, bring that left knee up into tabletop. So bring the left knee to tabletop. Relax the shoulders down. Bring the hands, if you want to, onto the hip bone so you can feel that hip stability. So this time we're going to breathe out. We're going to slide that leg down into that leg slide, but hover the foot off the floor this time. Create a little bit more strengthening through the core. Hover the foot off and then drawing that leg back into the crook knee position. We're going to take the knee out to the side into leg drop. So opening up through the hips, but the core is going to need to work harder now to control that movement. Draw it back to the center. So we're going to do 4 again. So slide down that left leg, slide it all the way out, but hover it off the floor, and then draw it all the way back in into that crook knee position, and then knee drop out to the side. So breathing out, coming back in. Remember, if you're not familiar with any of these moves, try and come up to a seated position to have a look, rather than trying to move your head to one side. So I'll show you front on if you need a front on view. So you're going to slide that leg all the way out, hover it off the floor, and then drawing in with the core, bringing the leg back to the crook knee position, and then dropping it gently out to the side, making sure this right leg doesn't move. Come back to the center. When you've done your 4, relax the leg down under control, relax the leg down, and take the right leg up. So bring the leg into that crook knee position to begin with. Left knee stays nice and steady. So breathing in, find that core control to begin with as you breathe out. Draw in and up with the pelvic floor. Slide the leg out, but hover the foot off if you can this time. And then sliding all the way back in. Breathing out, gently take that knee out to the side. So knee drop. Coming all the way back in. And then sliding gently down. So feeling that core starting to work, but also feeling this nice opening in the hips. So breathing out. Move back to the center. Releasing down. Taking that leg slide out, hover the foot off the floor. Draw it all the way back in. So when you've done 4 on each side again, just draw the knees into the chest, take a gentle hug. And then you can either roll to one side, or you can roll backwards and forwards and come up to a seated position. So your choice, either rolling up or rolling side to side. Come into a seated position. Good. So we're going to work a little bit more on core with some twisting. Twisting good for digestion, but also good for opening up the shoulders and working the side waist. So come into a seated position. Again, if you want to do this seated on a chair, you can do it seated on a chair. Otherwise, seated on your floor, on your mat. Bring your arms out in front. So arms out in front. Or if you want to, you can hold underneath the thighs to begin with on this one. Try and work this belly a little stronger. Bring the arms out in front. So sitting up tall to begin with, imagine you're being pulled up. Your crown of your head is attached to a piece of string and you're being pulled upwards. And then bring the arms out in front. So we're just going to roll down. So breathing in, sit tall. As you breathe out, just a gentle roll back. Again, releasing each vertebrae of the spine one at a time. Breathing out. And then draw the belly in, breathing in to come all the way back up. Sit nice and straight. Let me show you side on. So side on if you want to. So sitting tall to begin with. And then just releasing through each vertebrae of the spine. Keeping the feet planted on the ground, especially the heels. Toes might come up a little. And then coming all the way back up. So we're just going to do 5. So breathing out, releasing down. Breathing in, sitting back up. And you can come a little low if you feel good. So breathing out, making sure you're going as low as you want to. Keep the knees steady. But as you come back up, no jerking to come back up. If you're having to really struggle to get back up, you're going a little bit too low at the moment for your core strength. So don't worry about how low you're going. Make sure the movements are comfortable and precise. Remember with Pilates, it's all about that precision, making sure the breathing is correct. So breathing out and breathing in and making sure the body feels comfortable and you're pushing it a little bit, but not too much. When you've done the last one, take the legs a little wider and just release over the body. Good. So to challenge this core a little bit more, we're going to start to move the arms. So if you want to come back to the basic basic roll down you can do. If you're finding that one a little bit challenging, even with that one, come back and just work the legs in this leg slide. This will still work the core. Sliding this leg out and sliding this leg back in. So come back to that one if you're finding this one a little challenging this morning. Otherwise, we're going to start to move the arms. So to begin with, arms out in front. And as we roll back this time, we're going to take the arm high. So high and a little twist. So little twist to the right and take the right arm out and look up to the right arm. So it's coming to about 45 degrees and then coming all the way back up. And then lowering down, so you're rolling halfway and then you're twisting to the side, taking the arm out wide and then coming all the way back up. This time we're going to take it low. So we're going to roll down, right arm, twist to the right, take the right arm low this time. And then come all the way back up. Lifting tall through the core and the back, and then taking the other arm out low. Coming all the way back up to center. So you can vary those. So see what felt good with your arms, especially on your shoulders. Take the arm out wide if you want a shoulder stretch and the shoulder feels good. Take it high maybe. So rolling down, halfway roll, and then start to twist. Take the arm out, keep those knees steady, come all the way back. And then maybe taking it low, rolling down, take that twist, take the arm low. So you're also getting a nice gentle shoulder opening on this one. Breathing in, coming up tall. Good. Last one, take it, roll it down, take the arm out to the side, wherever you want to go. When you've done the last one, come all the way up. Gently take a roll forwards, just release over the front of the body. And then releasing down, come back to center, bring the feet and the knees together, bring the hands out to the side of the body and just let the knees go to one side. So just twist the knees down to one side, come back to the center and twist them to the opposite side. And come back to the center. So we're going to come down to that one on the ground again in a moment. So if you don't want to do it on the ground again on your back, you can come back to this position. Otherwise, this time, one more time, we're going to take the knees to the side. This time, imagine your feet and your heels and your toes are glued together. So glue your feet and your toes together. Take your legs to the left side, but your right foot is going to gently come off the ground. This is one of the options we're going to do on the floor. So I just want you to see what I'm doing and notice. So on the first time, I just took my knees over, and my knees came a little bit apart because this right foot was still planted on the ground. But you can take it so that you're lifting that foot and you're getting a little bit more opening then in the hip. So two options we're going to do down on the ground. So foot off the ground or foot on the ground. Just see how it feels when you come down. Okay, so we're going to come down to the ground again, just release down onto the back and bring the knees to begin with, feet on the ground. So feet together, knees together. Bring the arms out horizontal with the shoulders, with the palms facing up. So you're really relaxing your shoulders down to the ground. Keep the feet down on the ground. Find this neutral spine. So again, try not to have this huge gap or the pelvis tilting upwards when you come into this spinal release. So draw the belly in, so you've just got that gentle tilt through the spine and arms to the side. Good. So to begin with, take a breath in, and when you're ready to breathe out, keep the feet on the ground just to begin with, and just take the legs over to the left side. So let the knees drop to the left side, but keep both shoulders on the ground. Just keep that right foot, that outside edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the right foot on the ground, and then come back to the center. And then take them over to the right side. So just releasing down to the right. So if you need to look again, just have a look, have a sit up and have a look. So my big toe on my left foot is still on the ground at the moment. And my heel is just coming up. And then bring it back to the center. Now glue your feet and your heels together. So take your feet over but this time glue the feet together so that the foot on the right foot is coming off the floor. Just notice the difference on that hip, on that lower back, and on the shoulder, and then come back to the center. Make sure you've tilted that pelvis up just a little each time when you resettle. Take it over to the right side. So left foot this time is glued. So heel and toe is coming off the floor. And then come back to the center. And release. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a gentle hug. So for the next 2 rounds, you can decide which one you want to do. So you can either glue the feet together or you can let the toes relax on the ground. Take the arms out again to the side. So bringing the knees to the left-hand side. This time you're going to turn the head and look to the right side. So make sure this left shoulder stays on the ground, right shoulder stays on the ground. Look towards the opposite direction and then bring the head and the knees back to the center. Find that neutral spine and then take the opposite way. So taking the legs to the right, turning the head to the left. Just making sure that the left shoulder isn't moving anywhere. Right shoulder stays down on the ground. And then come back to the center. One more to each side. So gently to one side. Take it to one side. Breathing out. Back to the center. And last one. So we are going to run over just a couple of minutes because I know we started late. So it's just coming up to 10 o'clock if anybody does need to go. Come back to the center. Draw the knees into the chest. Take a gentle hug again. And then place the right foot down on the ground. We're going to come into our stretches. So take the right foot down to the ground. Draw the left leg in. So knee comes to chest. Bend that knee. Now hold behind the thigh and just hold it there and relax the shoulders down to the ground. Now start to think about straightening that left leg. So drawing, when you do though, try not to let the thigh come away from the chest. So keep the thigh nice and tight and then start to jerk. So imagine you're bringing the toes to the ceiling and then just trying to bring the toes towards your head rather than up towards the ceiling. And then if you can, slide the hands from behind that thigh up to the calf, just behind the calf. And then just take a gentle stretch in with the calf. So keeping nice and relaxed. No shaking through that leg. If it starts to shake, just ease off. Just drawing that leg in with every breath. In with breath, out with breath. Keeping the belly button drawn in for strength through the core. And then release the leg back down. Take a knee hug into the chest and release the leg back down. And then start with the right leg. So draw the right leg in, bring the hands behind the thigh, draw the right leg as close to the chest as you can, and then start to straighten that leg up. Take the hands, walk them up, down, up to the calf, and then just drawing that leg in, finding that length through the back of the leg, through the hamstring. A lot of people are tight in the hamstrings at the moment just because of, we have been doing quite a lot of sitting, but it's also been really cold. They do tighten up. Release back down. So we're going to do that one again and just add a couple of things on. So lifting the left leg into the chest. Take that hamstring stretch. Lift the foot to the ceiling. Take the hands behind the calf if you can. So if you want a little bit more, if you want a little bit more stretch, a little bit more length, take the chin and nose and draw the head up off the floor if the head is okay and the neck is okay, towards the knee. So lifting the nose towards the knee and then slide that right leg along the floor. Slide it out and push down through the hip and the heel. So you're getting a nice lengthening through the hamstring on the left leg and lengthening through the psoas and the leg on the hip on the right leg, and then lower the head back down to the ground, draw the right leg in, lower the left leg, and then change sides. So draw the right knee in to begin with, take that hamstring stretch up to the ceiling, hands behind calf, Draw the chin up towards knee, nose to knee, and then gently slide that left leg along the floor, sliding it all the way out, pushing down through this hip, finding the connection with the heel on the ground. And then drawing all the way back in, lowering the head down, bringing the knees into the chest. Both knees to chest, and gently rotate the knees. So rotating the knees clockwise, and then rotating them anti-clockwise. And then drawing the knees in, just bring the feet back down to the ground, feet wide, knees together, hands on belly. And we're just going to take 3 gentle breaths. So breathing in. As you breathe out, you can turn the head to one side if you want to, gently, just to get a gentle neck stretch. So breathing out, but be comfortable in the position. Back to the center. Take a breath in. Breathing out. Turn the head if you want to. So bring in the breath back to a normal breath, finding that expansion in the belly. We worked hard on that core today, so allow the belly now to relax and expand as you breathe in and out. And then draw both knees into the chest. Gently roll over to one side and slowly come back up to a seated position. So thank you very much today. Apologies for the technology at the beginning of class. Always one of those things when you're working online. So if you've got any comments, any questions, please ask. I am doing a workshop on feet in a couple of weeks' time. So if you've got my details, then drop me an email if you'd be interested in that. If you haven't, I'll put it in the chat. And also, we are starting the Active New and Walking for Health sessions for pre and postnatal women. So again, if you know anybody that's pregnant or has just had a baby and needs to get out of the house and do something a little bit more active, then put your email in the chat to Lisa, and she can send you the information, or if you send me your details, I can send you the information. Thank you, Julie. Good start to the weekend. Yeah, and I'm hoping to get out in the park. It looks like it's kind of not going to rain. It was meant to be raining, but I'm going to try and get out. Yeah, Lisa's just put her email in the chat. So if you are interested or know anybody that's going to